investing on the edge, not for everyone, for a select few. But if you want to couple up investing on the edge with living on the edge, here's something else. Adventure sports, easily accessible now, maybe even in your own city. Adventure sports, of course, are all about the adrenaline rush, or are they? There seems to be more to it. More and more corporates are now using adventure sports as a way to build teams. Madhu Bharti samples the rides.
Go rock climbing, dive deep into the sea, or take off for paragliding. Adventure sports is now the new way to go. Not just if you're seeking adventure for yourself, but also if you're planning a team building session for your office colleagues. The concept of using adventure sports as a way to forge closer professional ties came to the fore in the US as early as the 1970s. The idea was to boost morale, build trust within the team, in the hope that it leads to greater productivity. In India, though, the concept of team building through adventure sports has picked up more recently. Not surprisingly, it was the IT companies that started the trend, using outbound training or adventure sports as a way to build a team. While the trend is still young, it's gained enough traction to encourage adventure sports organizers like Adventure Zone. Adventure Zone was set up by Major Roy in 1998. After taking voluntary retirement from the Indian Army, Major Roy, who's a certified trainer himself, decided to set up the business out of sheer passion for adventure sports.
You can work with somebody 9 to 5 for 20 years, but you'll never get to know him as well as you can get to know a person by just staying with him for 2 days and doing a program like this. You see a different angle, a different facet over here. Over here, you start interacting with each other as people, as A and B, not as, maybe a department head with department head. Team building and group dynamics is one of the most common. Come to communication skills, time management, resource management, crisis management, leadership identification, leadership development.
While demand for adventure sports, particularly from corporates, has slowly picked up, the number of organized players in the business remains small.
Now, once you're hooked up, you have to get into the basic...
As Major Roy explains, setting up of an adventure sports company requires extensive groundwork, from traveling to various countries to understand activities available, the right facilities needed, to the training required for the support staff.
Actually, more than the money and the funding, it was being able to sell the concept to the corporates. I was not selling a product initially, I was selling a concept to them. I had to convince the corporates that this kind of a training program works, that it is effective, that it's good value for money.
While setting up an adventure sports company is one challenge, ensuring a steady flow of business is another. In the good times, corporates spend lavishly on team building activities like adventure sports, but HR consultants warn that come bad times, disposable spending items like team building activities are the first to get slashed from the corporate budgets. It's these uncertainties intrinsically linked to business cycle that has prevented the adventure sports business from achieving scale and size. But companies like Della Adventure remain hopeful that the trend will catch on. While new economy industries like IT have been early adopters of such trends, old economy establishments are slowly starting to see the benefit of putting their employees through such training programs and in turn build stronger teams.
Corporates naturally use it, but the very same corporates, when they go back home and talk to their kids and their wives, these are the same corporates that come back with their families over here. So it's a two-pronged approach.
The business of adventure sports, largely targeted at the corporates, is still a nascent one in India. But with more and more companies looking at novel ways to bring their teams together, there may still be hope for outbound training to become an organized business. With camera person Raj in Lonavala and Sukumar in Chennai, Madhu Bharati, NDTV.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.